Lumi was a butterfly, small and vibrant, with wings like stained glass. She lived in a valley, ringed by towering mountains, their peaks capped with snow. The valley was her playground, a symphony of color and scent where she flitted from flower to flower. Lumi loved the warmth of the sun, the sweet nectar, and the company of her fellow butterflies. Life was a joyful dance. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Lumi grew, her wings becoming stronger, her flight more graceful. She knew every corner of the valley, from the babbling brook to the highest blossom on the oldest tree. Her laughter echoed through the meadows, as light and carefree as the summer breeze. As the days grew shorter and the leaves began to turn, a new sound reached the valley. It was a low whistle at first, carried on the wind, a whisper of something unfamiliar. The animals grew quiet, their playful chatter replaced by an uneasy stillness. The whispers grew louder, evolving into a chilling howl. The whispers spoke of the north wind, a powerful force that brought with it a cold unlike any other. This cold, they said, could freeze a heart as easily as it could freeze a stream. The older butterflies spoke of a blizzard, a furious dance of snow and wind that blanketed everything in white silence. Fear, cold and sharp, began to grip Lumi's heart. High on a hill, overlooking the vast and serene valley below, lived an old owl. This owl had seen many seasons come and go, each one leaving behind a layer of wisdom that he carried with him. He was known far and wide for his wisdom, which he had gathered over countless years of observing the world from his lofty perch. His eyes had witnessed the changing of leaves, the migration of birds, and the cycles of life and death. One day, a small butterfly named Lumi, her heart heavy with fear and uncertainty, sought him out. She had heard tales of the old owl's wisdom and hoped he could help her. With trembling wings, she fluttered to his branch, her delicate form quivering with anxiety. She landed gently and looked up at the wise old owl, her eyes filled with worry. "Old owl," she began, her voice barely a whisper, "how do I face this blizzard that is coming? How do I conquer this fear that chills me to my core?" The old owl listened patiently, his wise eyes twinkling in the moonlight. He had seen many creatures come to him with their troubles, and he knew that each one needed to be heard and understood. When Lumi finished speaking, the old owl took a moment to gather his thoughts. His voice, when he finally spoke, was a low and comforting rumble that seemed to resonate with the very essence of the night. "Little one," he said gently, "fear is like the wind. It is a force of nature that you cannot stop, but you can learn to navigate it. Just as you have learned to fly with the wind, you can learn to live with your fear. The first step," he continued, "is to acknowledge your fear. Do not run from it or try to hide it. Look it in the eye and see it for what it is. Only then can you begin to understand it and find a way to move forward. Remember," the old owl said, "that you are stronger than you think. The wind may be powerful, but so are you. Trust in your own strength and resilience, and you will find a way to soar even in the face of the fiercest storm." Lumi listened intently, her heart beginning to feel lighter. The old owl's words were like a balm to her troubled soul, giving her the courage to face her fears. With newfound determination, she looked into the distance, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She knew that with the wisdom of the old owl guiding her, she could conquer any storm. Lumi spent the next few days reflecting on the old owl's words. She realized that pretending the blizzard wasn't real wouldn't make it so. Acknowledging her fear was the first step, however unsettling it felt. She started by speaking about her fear, voicing it to the rustling leaves and the babbling brook. The act of naming her fear, of giving it a voice, strangely lessened its power. The fear was still there, but it no longer controlled her. Now, she could look at it, examine it, and understand it. This understanding was the first ray of light in the gathering darkness of her fear. Section 5. Wings Against the Wind. The old owl watched Lumi, his heart filled with quiet pride. He saw her courage blossoming, fragile yet determined. He knew that acknowledging fear was one thing, but facing it required strength and preparation. "Lumi," he hooted one day to dance with the wind, "you must strengthen your wings." He taught her how to fly against the wind, how to use its force to lift her higher. He showed her how to find shelter in the heart of the storm, how to conserve her energy and wait for the right moment. Lumi practiced diligently, her small body growing stronger with each passing day. Section 6. The Fury of the Blizzard. The day of the blizzard arrived, announced by a deafening roar. The valley, usually serene and calm, was now a battleground of nature's fury. The wind picked up speed, howling through the trees and whipping the snow into a frenzy. The sky, once blue and bright, turned into a swirling mass of gray. Dark clouds gathered ominously, casting a shadow over the land. It was as if the heavens themselves were preparing for a monumental clash. Snow began to fall, at first hesitant, then with increasing fury. Each flake seemed to carry the weight of the storm, piling up quickly and transforming the landscape into a white, unrecognizable expanse. The wind howled, a furious beast unleashed upon the valley. It tore through the trees, bending them to its will, and sent snow swirling in every direction. The sound was deafening, a constant reminder of the storm's relentless power. Lumi felt a tremor of fear, but it was different now. She had faced many challenges before, but this was unlike anything she had ever encountered. The blizzard was a force of nature, indifferent to her presence, and she knew she had to respect its power. It was a primal fear, a respect for the raw power of nature, but it wasn't the paralyzing fear she had felt before. Instead, it was a reminder of her own strength and resilience. She had learned to face her fears head-on, and this storm was no different. She remembered the old owl's lessons. The wise creature had taught her the importance of staying calm and finding shelter in the midst of chaos. His words echoed in her mind, guiding her actions as the storm raged on. She found shelter behind a broad tree trunk, her wings tucked close to her body. The tree provided some protection from the wind, and she felt a small measure of safety in its shadow. She knew she had to wait out the storm no matter how long it took. The wind roared around her, but she held on, her small body a testament to her unwavering spirit. Despite the storm's fury, she remained steadfast, a symbol of resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. The blizzard would pass, and she would emerge stronger for having endured it. Section 7. A New Day Dawns. The blizzard raged for what seemed like an eternity, but eventually, even the fiercest storms must come to an end. Silence descended upon the valley, a silence so profound that it was almost deafening. Lumi peeked out from her shelter, her antennae twitching. The storm had passed, leaving behind a world transformed. The valley was draped in a blanket of pristine white, sparkling under the newly emerged sun. The air was crisp and clean, washed clean by the storm. Lumi took a deep breath, her small chest filled with the joy of survival, the thrill of having weathered the storm. Section 8. The Butterfly Who Danced with the Wind. In the heart of winter, where the snow blanketed the earth in a serene white, there lived a butterfly named Lumi. Unlike other butterflies, Lumi was born in the coldest season, a time when most creatures sought warmth and shelter. Her delicate wings, adorned with intricate patterns of icy blue and silver, shimmered against the stark whiteness of her surroundings. With a joyous flutter of her wings, Lumi took to the sky. Each beat of her wings was a testament to her resilience, a dance of defiance against the harsh winter. She had learned to navigate the cold winds, finding pockets of stillness where she could rest and gather strength. She soared above the snow-covered landscape, her movements no longer hesitant but filled with a newfound grace and confidence. The world below, a vast expanse of white, seemed to stretch endlessly, but Lumi felt no fear. Instead, she embraced the vastness, her spirit soaring as high as her wings. She danced with the wind, no longer afraid but exhilarated by its power. The gusts that once threatened to sweep her away now felt like a partner in her dance, lifting her higher and guiding her through the sky. Each twist and turn was a celebration of her newfound freedom. She had faced her fear and emerged stronger, her spirit as bright and resilient as the sun that now bathed the valley in its warmth. The once cold and intimidating landscape now felt like home, a place where she belonged and thrived. The sun's rays, breaking through the clouds, seemed to applaud her journey. She flew to the old owl's perch, her heart brimming with gratitude. The old owl, a wise and ancient creature, had been her guide and mentor. His wisdom had been a beacon of light in the darkest of times, and Lumi felt a deep sense of appreciation for his guidance. He watched her approach, a slow smile spreading across his wise face. His eyes, deep and knowing, reflected the countless stories and lessons he had shared with Lumi. He had always believed in her, even when she doubted herself. He had seen many storms come and go, witnessed countless acts of courage, both big and small. Each storm brought its own challenges, but also its own lessons. The old owl knew that true strength came from facing adversity and emerging stronger on the other side. But there was something special about Lumi, something in her unwavering spirit that touched even his ancient heart. Her journey was a testament to the power of resilience and the beauty of embracing one's true self. As they sat together, surrounded by the winter landscape, both knew that this was just the beginning of Lumi's incredible journey. In Section 9, A Tiny Flutter, A World of Courage. Lumi's story spread throughout the valley, carried on the whispers of the wind. She became a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of courage and resilience. The other butterflies, inspired by her story, learned to face their own fears, to find strength in the face of adversity. Lumi's journey taught everyone a valuable lesson. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. It is the small, quiet voice within that whispers, "I can," when the world shouts you cannot. It is the tiny flutter of a butterfly's wings against the wind, a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides in us all.